up and go. It's the Long Island Breakfast Club show. Grab a cup of coffee or hot cocoa. It's the Long Island Breakfast Club show. Grab a cup of Java or espresso. It's the Long Island Breakfast Club show. Valentina is the host, you see. She's as classy as she can be. Grab a cup of coffee or espresso with the Long Island Breakfast Club show. I say rise and shine, get up and go. It's the Long Island Breakfast Club show. Grab a cup of coffee or espresso with the Long Island Breakfast Club show. Another cup of Java or espresso. Another cup of coffee or hot cocoa. It's the Long Island Breakfast Club show. It's the Long Island Breakfast Club show. It's the Long Island Breakfast Club show.
Good afternoon, everybody. It's Thursday. I got some great people here today. I'm so happy to have you all. Today is August 22nd. Beautiful day outside. And today is National Be an Angel Day. Be an Angel Day. Recognize those who have been angels to us. Sometimes we have a terrible day, and whether it's bad news, good news, that angel, a hug, a pleasant time, maybe a drink, whatever.
A friend.
This is something very special to me because my sister passed away. She was a big part of the Breakfast Club, and she has a charity now called Ria's Angels. So today, guys, it's National Be an Angel Day in memory of my sister Maria, who's in my book, and my book is dedicated to her. And it's also a very good friend of ours, Patricia's boyfriend, Joey Pandolfo's birthday today. So happy birthday, Joey, from all of us on the show. Enjoy, have a great time, and happy birthday. So here we are today with some really great Long Islanders. We have Linda Trottman. She's an author. We're going to talk to her soon. Yay. Hi, Linda. We have Steve McKenna, Mr. Handsome here today. I love his shirt.
Representing.
And he's got champagne on his shirt, which guess what? We are going to be drinking. So congratulations to everyone for being here. We have some nice wine. Salute. And we also have Julia Abrue, who I've known for so long through my daughter worked with her. I know her from the lovely ladies that we're involved with and all the charity. Thank you for coming.
You're welcome.
And my new friend here, Debbie Doekker.
Debbie Decker.
Decker. Okay, the way it's spelled, it's hard to know.
Exactly.
Some reason you look familiar. I know I've met you somewhere at an event, buying jewelry, whatever. And so it's really nice to meet all of you.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And we love this place. If anybody ever needs to be here at the studio for other things, we offer all kinds of help to you. So, Linda, how did I meet you? Through my book?
Through our publisher.
And our publisher, Stephanie Larkin. She's the head penguin of Penguin Books.
Yes, it's Linda Trott Dickman.
I keep saying Trottman.
Yeah, I know. People do Dickinson. You wouldn't believe.
She's combining
get it right.
She's combining it.
You know, you wouldn't believe. Trott was difficult enough, and then I married my husband, and then it got to be really interesting.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, you're from Northport, right?
No, I'm from East Northport,
East,
which makes a difference in some places.
Okay. All right. Well, which is best, East, West?
I love my home.
Okay.
I don't have a best.
So that's good.
It's the same house I came to when I was 9 months old, so I'm real happy there.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Wow.
Who can say that?
Oh, yeah, not a lot of people.
And you also are involved in the Observer. You're a librarian or you're a retired librarian?
Librarians never retire. At least this one didn't. I'm curating collections for special schools in faraway places in the United States and local ones as well.
You're busy.
Yeah.
Who are in need of books?
Yes, who are in need of books. And
nice.
Wow.
It's what I do.
And you were 10 years old in California when you were at a camp and you started doing poetry?
Yes. I was at a sleepaway camp for CYO. And one of the standard operating pieces of equipment was not just, bring enough underwear and socks and all of that. They also said, bring a marble notebook. And that's where I started writing poetry under a tree.
Oh,
Under a
That's
big pine
nice.
tree.
And now you're a
In the
poet.
high Sierras.
Yeah, you were a
Wow.
woman of distinction, which I was once. It was a great thrill.
Nice.
The thrill for me with that, Valentina, was the person who nominated me was on the board with me at North Part Arts Coalition. But the best part was Keith Brown was my student, and he's the one who presented the award, and I got to teach not only Keith but his sons. That was what it was all about for me. The rest of it was gravy.
Yeah, and we have a lot in common. I see you had an author's night. I did that too for the first author's night on Long Island many years ago.
Yes.
And so it's really something. I never met you until meeting you at Stephanie's few weeks ago. But when I read about you, I'm like, you have to get you on. So now
Steve had some author nights, right, on Montauk?
Yeah.
Didn't you? Yes.
I
We just
gotta-
had the East
yes.
Hampton
I
Authors
gotta
Night.
go to one of
Yes.
those.
He's
I
had
really
some
do.
author nights.
That's unbelievable.
That's
So you got
celebration.
2 authors here now.
I met Dr. Ruth.
Oh, and
Nice.
she,
Oh,
she
that's
passed.
I know.
Yeah.
This
I know,
year,
I
right?
know.
Oh.
Well, let me know. Maybe we could go together, drive
Yeah.
one day.
we just got back from a 7,200-mile road trip, so
Driving.
Oh, you don't
driving
mind
is what
driving.
we do.
Mhm.
Oh,
So
that's cool.
we have a file, a photo of all of your books. Which Therese, thank you for making it. Did you like what she did for you?
I didn't even see it until I saw it.
Yeah. Okay. So we have a file we can show Bobby on Linda's books. Okay.
Well, I can show you.
Yeah. Let's do it.
This is the poetry prompts for children. This is in case you always want to write poetry, but you don't want to be in a class and you want it like your closet poet. So this is how you start. This is for all ages.
What's the
this is-
name of that
That
one?
one's called Catching the Light, Poetry Prompts for Children of All Ages.
That's how you start teaching kids how to be a poet, like try to
Yes,
write.
that's one of the ways. There are many ways.
Okay.
And then my first collection of poetry was called Robes, because my husband bought us, spoke to Santa, and we got these beautiful Victoria's Secret robes for Christmas one year.
Really?
And that's the central poem in the book.
That's something. You see how a book, there it is. Look at that great thing she made for
Oh,
you.
very nice.
I thought
Yeah,
it was
that
so
is- that
pretty
is nice.
the way she did that.
It is. And my daughter Joanna did this cover.
Very
She
nice.
illustrated the cover. So I'm thrilled about that.
It's nice when you have that in the family.
Yeah, it's all over.
So it's all about different robes that everybody got throughout the years.
How being robed in love, being robed in nature, being robed in all manner of things. So that it is a theme throughout the book.
Very nice.
What you're robed in. And this
Ro-
one is the air that I breathe. And this one is all about the different places that we breathe the air and how it affects us. And so that's
Is-
really fun.
Is it healthy or no? It's a kid book. Is it an adult book?
Everything I have is family friendly. There is no such thing. If you want to read between the lines, you're going to have to make it up.
Mhm. The air we breathe. So it's about how, like, when you breathe in and how you feel and where you were at the time.
Yes.
Huh.
Yes.
Interesting. That's a good book to take on vacation when you're really stressed out.
The one that you want to take
Keeps you
on
calm.
vacation
This
is
one.
this one.
I have no idea. What is that about?
This is
That
called
looks good.
Road Trip 1 and 2. And my husband and I took a couple of road trips across the country and back. And every place we stopped, I wrote a poem. And the first
Wow.
one, Road Trip 1, was the one that I won an award for. I won a best poetry award from Local Gems Press. And
Look at that.
but then,
Congratulations.
thank you. And I just did we
That's
just
so
did
cool.
another one. So book 3 is coming.
That is great.
Excellent.
And
Now,
this-
do you do yourself or you work with Red Penguin Books?
Red Penguin.
She's
and the
my
ones
publisher
that-
as well.
But the
Yeah.
ones I'm really proud of are the ones I just gave you.
Yes, which let's get them out because I put them away right away. I hide them. See, I used to have a co-host that whenever someone would give me a gift, I'd
Vanna.
steal them.
No.
yes.
So,
So
that's why you
now
got rid of the
I
co-host.
always put them away. Well, we changed. That's all. Okay,
So-
so there you go.
So this one I'm particularly
Oh,
proud of.
I love
This
that.
is called Bless Our Pets. And I was a big fan of Lee Bennett Hopkins from the time I was a student in college. He was the poet person for every day. And so when I wrote to him, I friended him on Facebook. He accepted my friendship. And then I asked him how you get into one of his anthologies. And he said, you just write me and send me your poetry and I will tell you. And he did. And he
Wow.
loved my poetry. And he said, you're delightful. You're going to write about a fish. Of course, And this is the
Oh, can I see it?
Yes.
I'm gonna make me
The
look at it.
illustrations are beautiful.
oh,
Whoa.
Lena
Beautiful.
Judge is fabulous. I'm
Oh,
going
the
to her studio in New
illustration.
Hampshire in
Goldfish,
October to meet
pebbles,
her.
plants, water moves. You are the dancer. Your glass bowl, your stage. I watch you every day, dancing with you. You are so shiny, you watch back. Blowing fish kisses, bobbing up for food, chasing it when it falls. We grow together and blessed golden one. You fan the water, I fan the air. We dance a prayer. Very
nice.
different.
Beautiful.
So like what age group would get into this type of because it looks like a children's book, but it could be an
It is
adult
a children's book. I think
Okay,
you could
next
start
one.
reading it whenever you start reading to your children,
Beautiful.
but they will comprehend it. I would say somewhere between around 3 it was where they would begin, and older. And there are adults that there are adults that love it. And I'm so thrilled that I got to meet a lot of the poets in the book.
Very nice.
Sure. And then
So-
when you meet all these people that you do anthologies with, it's kind of fun
It's beyond kind of
because
fun.
Red Penguin does a lot of anthologies. And if anybody here wants to write a book, I work with Stephanie and I connect you to her for an appointment. You just verbally talk, and if you're interested and you want help, you sign the contract.
It's
You have a
a
book in
beautiful
6 months.
Where can you get it?
And a
Where
book
can you,
changes your life.
I got one coming.
I don't
got
think
it
I'm
Facebook.
allowed to tell you where you
Okay,
can get
where
it.
you can get it.
Yes, how do you
But it's
buy it?
easily available.
Okay.
It's easily
Look
available.
online.
Look, yeah.
Okay.
Look in all
But
the
where?
usual
On
places.
Amazon
Beautiful.
or in
I'm not allowed to say that.
oh. I say it all the
We
time,
were
but-
awarded. We were warned.
Look online. It's online because it's a beautiful
But the
book.
one this is the latest one. I just got it in the mail this week, and I will read you the short. It's a short poem,
Yes,
but
sure.
it defines my career. It's called "The Librarian: A Life in Picture Books." Shh. The library is a quiet place. Don't you know you can't sing and dance? Walking on the tables is strictly forbidden. Dress-up clothes? A hat rack? You must be crazy. Shh. Oh, what? You're who? The librarian? Oops.
Very cute. I bet the kids love,
Love it.
this
I
when you
love
do it.
I did do all of that. Walk on the tables and
Oh,
Get
my
the
goodness.
hell out of town.
Oh,
I like
boy.
this one.
You're gonna conceal it,
This
right?
is very, very nice.
Very
I have to
nice.
say, the illustrations
Very
and
impressive.
the poetry is beautiful.
it
Very
is my
impressive.
passion.
Yes, it's gorgeous. Very nice.
So
But that
now
goes to
you did
Valentina.
also some work with the school districts, right? Did a lot.
I taught for 40 years in the school library, and we sang and danced and dressed up and moved the furniture and made forts and did everything to make the education in the library fun. And I told the kids, this is the room where you come and you don't have to know. This is the room where you can find out.
Oh,
Very
that's
nice.
very, very good.
I love my kids. I'm still in touch with the 55-year-olds, which were my first class.
Wow.
And my last class is now in the middle school.
So do you have a
Very nice.
website or do you go to Red Penguin?
I'm on Facebook. I'm on Facebook under Linda Trott Dickman. I am the easiest person in the world to find. If you
Yeah.
can't find me, you can't read.
I love that.
Very, very nice. Very nice. Very, very nice. So out of all the books, what's your favorite?
The one I'm working on now.
Oh, which do we have the name or no?
Yes.
It's not allowed.
It's called Rattling the Slats, and it's about a Long Island aviatrix named Eleanor Smith, who died in 2008, maybe 2007. I spoke with her on the phone before she passed. I found her, I spoke with her, and she flew under all 4 East River bridges. She was the only person ever did it.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and she was only 16.
Oh my goodness. So that's history we don't even know about.
Yes.
Yeah, very
Wow.
excited
That
about
sounds
that.
very interesting.
So that's
Uh-huh.
with Stephanie right now.
Wow.
Very nice.
So what's your favorite restaurant in Northport? Since you've been there forever.
What a good question. Okay, so Sundays we go to Venus because it's like Cheers. Everybody knows your name.
Mhm.
And if we're in town, we go to the Main Street Cafe, which is absolutely like Old Home Week.
Now, at the Walt Whitman birthplace.
Yes.
I went for an interview there, one of the 90 interviews I had in 4 years. And I loved them there, but I didn't get the job because I was too smart, too old, made too much money. You know, they're very cheap when you're a charity. They don't like to pay you much. But tell me about that because it seemed like a lovely place to work.
I love working there because I love Walt Whitman. There is a skeleton or, not a skeleton, but bones that you have to hang your lessons on. But I take him in all different directions. And I can, we dress up over there. We
I
go
remember
outside
that.
and sit in the grass. We play music. We talked about his immigration and that we are a nation of immigrants, and I got to play them Neil Sedaka's The Immigrant Song about John Lennon, and I got to play them Neil Diamond's Coming to America, and then I had them write poetry to go with
That's
it.
nice.
So
I
it's
remember
fun.
a beautiful woman, blonde, long hair. I don't know if she's still there. She got a job there. She was there a long time.
Oh, Cynthia, she just retired.
Cynthia, yes.
Just retired.
Oh,
Yes, because I used to work with her here and there. She's a very nice lady.
Yes.
So that's great. So we're going to move on to our next Mr. Man here today. He's the only man with all these great
he's
ladies.
very brave.
Very
Brave,
smart.
Very
tan,
smart. That's
dressed nice, good haircut. So Stephen McKenna, 34 years in the media.
Yeah.
How do you stand in all those years?
Well, I don't anymore because I retired.
Right, which is great.
I
So where were you? Newsday?
started at Newsday when I was just turning 20, and really, I went in there as an accountant. That was my what I went for college for. So I started in payroll.
So you really moved up the ranks.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much 3 or 4 jobs in finance,
Right.
and then I went to the business side of advertising, and
Which is huge. That's a hard job.
I worked
As you
directly.
know.
I worked directly for our VP at the time, which was John McKeon, and that's where I learned a lot.
Yeah, especially in sales.
Yeah. And
But you never did editorial, right?
I've written
Oh, you have.
when I was the publisher and CEO of Dan's. I did car reviews and boat reviews because I got to use them.
So now is it the same over there? Editorial and sales, 2 separate issues.
we call it advertorial, right, Steve? We've done
Well, we
that.
call it Church and State.
That's true.
That's
but we
right.
have
Yes.
written advertorial.
Church and
which
State
is,
So
yes,
is
he's right.
a
at
big thing.
Newsday, you weren't allowed in the editorial department.
Well, where I worked, CMP, you weren't allowed on the second floor. That's where the editors were. You weren't. The salespeople were downstairs.
Yeah.
But occasionally, if you worked for the big shot, you could go up and down.
Yeah.
So I get all that, and I loved it, but I always was afraid of editors.
I think everything changed there at Newsday once. Was it 2004? Was the
Yeah.
circulation issue,
Right.
and that was my entire project, along with an old gentleman in finance.
Mm-hmm.
And we basically had to calculate all the circulation fraud that happened.
Wow,
And
that was a big job.
it came out, it was 7 months, 100 hours a week.
Wow, but you got big awards in those years, 17, 18, 19.
I'll take the time back.
Marketing excellence, yes.
Right.
We wrote $95 million in checks back to advertisers across the country. And we met with all of them. I was on a plane
Constant.
4 days
your
out of every
sleep.
week.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, so it was.
Well, you got a publisher's award for excellence, too.
Yeah, it
Big
was. It was,
shout here we got.
He did a
It
great
was
job.
a lot of dedication, but it basically was a class action defense. So we had to take all the money off the table before the class action people got there, and we did it very fair and equitably.
So let's
And,
talk about your business now. So you probably don't miss corporate America. None of us
No.
do.
I think back in 2011, I was recruited to become the publisher of Dan's papers out in
Which is
Hamptons.
another. I don't know him. I want to meet him. Can you make me a
I
connection?
can.
All right. Well, I would like you to do that for me.
Oh,
All right.
Yeah.
Um,
I don't.
love that.
I always ask for it.
It
You
doesn't
don't
hurt
ask,
to ask.
You don't
Because
ask,
if you
you
don't
don't
ask,
get.
you don't know.
That's right.
right.
You don't
Yeah.
get.
Yeah.
I'll call him right now.
Okay. So let's talk about the company's name, Strategic Event Solutions Group.
Right. So when I decided to retire in November, I wanted to do something that I've been doing for the past 14 years is events. And events were part of Dan's to diversify the revenue stream to help the products run. Because there are, a lot of newspapers are not surviving.
No. And
Unless
events
they-
is what took over then.
It was a good
As far as
supplement.
sales,
It was
yeah.
a good supplement to the original product. And and we grew it and we doubled the size of the company. We went from one event and we ended up doing 16 events in 2019. And then unfortunately COVID hit and nobody wanted to go to events then.
Yeah, well, that was a long 2-year stretch.
Yeah. So what we had created was we created the Fun Hamptons. Everything was stuffy and sit down and rubber chicken dinners. And we created fun events with live music and samplings from 30 or 40 restaurants.
which
And-
everybody likes to eat.
Yep.
And that's a good thing. No matter what you have, any kind, small, big, or large event, you got to have food,
Yep.
which is why we have some cookies.
Oh,
Here you
here
go.
we
Have some
go.
cookies.
And what
have
about
some
the drinks?
And the drinks.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Steve's got,
I think
yeah.
basically every
Thank you so
liquid you
much.
can think of is under the tent that
Really?
we do.
My favorite is Prosecco.
Okay.
Yeah.
Prosecco. Rosé is the Hamptons' favorite
Yeah.
beverage.
And I was always, because I don't like to drive that far, but everyone told me go to the Hamptons to do whatever you want because you could triple your cost. People pay more because you're in the Hamptons, because if you don't charge enough, guess what? They're not going to think you're big enough.
Yeah.
Is it true?
True. True.
So I get good
And-
advice from people.
We created a real estate publication called Behind the Hedges, and basically
Ah.
real estate is the sport of the Hamptons.
Oh yeah,
So-
Behind the Hedges. I like that. What is it? Common mail, or is it published?
Well, I don't do it anymore, but they carried forth the tradition we created, and it's basically just summarizing a lot of things going on, a lot of the agent stories.
Ah,
Isn't that an insert in the Long Island Press now?
So the company that
Was-
bought
yeah.
Dan's, it owns the Long Island Press as well. So
Right.
I really think it fits. And
well, I know Vicky Schnaps.
Yep.
Mhm.
I worked for her for like 7 weeks as a temp,
Mhm.
and left when the boss that I was working with left, who you know, Amy Amato.
Oh, yes.
Yep.
So I have a lot of history,
yeah,
You
and
do.
my book.
it's a small world.
Yeah, my book has stories of some of the jobs I took that didn't work out, some of the people I met, but they're all positive stories. And so I get,
So they bought Dan's,
Yeah.
and they continuing a lot of the traditions that we created back in the early
Yeah.
2000s. And Dan is actually still writing. He's 84, 85.
and he's just an independent writer now. Is that it?
No, I mean he's
He has
the
a
founder.
show.
He's
I
the
know,
founder,
yeah.
He's a contributor. Yeah.
and
Right.
they treat him very well.
When I talk about this part of my life, because I can relate, it feels good. But because I do miss what I used to do,
Yep.
but I don't miss the BS.
Mhm.
And there was a lot of that in
Mhm.
publishing and
The-
editing. And
The most fun I had with Dan was we celebrated 60-year anniversary in 2019, and
Mhm.
that's when we did 16 events, and we created a book called 60 Summers, 60 Covers.
Oh,
And
that's
the covers of
nice.
Dan's are always original pieces of artwork from the local artists, and we basically had him select his favorite covers over the past 30
Oh,
or 40
that's
years,
nice.
and we made it into a book. And it was a soft cover and a hardcover book, and then we had a big celebration at Gurney's at the end. 'Cause
Yeah.
it is the end.
Beautiful.
And he grew up. That's where he started.
Wow, that's
Dan's.
something. I think we have a clip from you, right?
I think so.
Bobby, can we have that clip of
One of my events.
the event?
Very cool.
Here we
There
go.
you go.
This is what Norwex was doing next week at
Where-
Borghese Vineyard. It's the first Long Island's first vineyard.
And really, where is that? Is this?
No, this is real.
Oh, you're doing this at Northport. What's
Northport.
the date?
It's August 29th, Thursday night,
Maybe we could go.
leading into the holiday weekend. It's about 1,100 people under the huge tent. We have live music and all kinds of fun with photographs and photos of 60s. We have boats,
Oh.
cars.
Okay. What does one do if they want to go?
I'll give you a review after the show.
Other people can go online.
Yes.
Buy
Yeah,
tickets.
you can go to Case LI Events, you go to northforkerevents.com, and you get all the information.
This is my driver, so we go
That's
together.
your-
We go everywhere together.
That's your
North Forker Events. So there's a brand for every magazine. So when I was at this company, we had North Forker, we had South Forker magazine, and now there's a South Forker event called Taste the West Hampton Region, which is in June. July, we had the Hampton One Food Classic at Southampton College, where I went in 1987 while I was in high school. And
So
then,
that looks really cool.
yeah, no, it's fun.
And we
Um,
have a picture of your tent, and I know that. So, how many
So-
people put this thing up?
Probably about 10 to 12. They're
Wow.
incredibly they do well. And you can see it from the road, so everybody's like, "What's going on? What's going on?" And there's a plane right above the tent there too.
Yeah. Now, do you do weddings, all kinds
No,
of
no,
stuff?
no,
or
no, no, no.
So you're strictly wine and
just food and wine festivals.
food and
Fun
wine
things.
festivals. Yeah.
Yeah, fun.
Thanks.
Well, everybody's happy when they're drinking wine and eating.
Yep.
so-
That's it.
And we
That's a
have
great
this one
job.
next week, and then we're doing one at Farmingdale College on September 28th.
Oh, another
A
one
Saturday.
that's close. Okay.
So that's the Long Island Wine and Food Classic.
And
So you
it's-
have to, put my email in your little stream of
absolutely.
where you send all your invites.
Southampton
and
College
s-
is going to be great because it's the first one. He's launching it,
Mhm.
and it's right on the 110 border.
Yeah, it's not
Nassau,
that
Suffolk.
far.
Yeah.
Right. And now, how the heck do you know this lady that I know forever?
So during my rookie
Julia
year,
Abrue.
my 1990 start at Newsday, Julia was there as well,
Oh.
and we worked together. I left there in 2008. 2008.
Yeah.
And I went to Long Island Press, and then I went to a company called Pop Tent, made a Super Bowl commercial
Oh, that had to be a ball.
for Dannon Oikos. It was fun. It was with John Stamos. You can look it up.
Great.
Oh,
It's
That
on
is so
YouTube,
cool.
right, Steve?
Yeah, on
that's
YouTube.
Something.
And then from there, I came out to the East End. I spent 9 years as the publisher and CEO of Dan's. And then I started up the Village Voice again, the print version.
But in Manhattan?
I
Or
went, yeah.
in Manhattan?
Yep.
So that had to be.
So
You
that
had
was
to meet some real wackos there, right?
coming out of COVID. So it wasn't the traditional way the Voice was, but a lot
Yeah.
of the same people were there. And,
Interesting. Mhm.
it was funny to have some of the old writers come on my page and say, "Oh, so glad to have you on board, get the print version going." And we did. We launched it. But I did a year there, but I was tempted to come back out
Wow.
to the East End and
Pretty
start doing
impressive.
everything.
Reading that in college in the 70s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Village Voice.
I have a whole closet full of all the first issue that came out after it had shut down. So if you want one, I'll send it to you.
Yeah, I actually have an issue of the largest magazine we made at CMP,
Mhm.
which was the Comdex issue. Was all about the computer industry.
Mhm.
It's this big, and we used to call it the big book.
Wow.
And so I do have that still.
Yeah.
But after a while, you get rid of stuff. How much can you save?
Yeah.
So now, Julia, how did
Yes.
we meet? We met because of Patricia.
Yes. We
With
do a
our-
lot of networking.
Yeah,
do a lot of
lovely ladies
networking.
group.
Yeah.
And who'd you work with? My daughter,
Yes, I did. She was one of my best clients when she
Yeah.
worked at Planting Fields.
which was a great job.
She put on a great event.
Yeah.
She would do a great gala every year. And Steve and I go way back to the same amount of time at Newsday. And I can testify to his late hours.
Mhm.
He was definitely there late at night working. And then
And you helped him on some things. Too,
I didn't
right?
get into the financial side. I stayed on the advertising side.
Right,
So but we gave him our support.
Right.
And then I was there 20 plus years, and I actually followed him a little bit. I went to Long Island Press for a while.
Didn't we all work at Long Island Press with
Mhm.
Vicky? It's hysterical.
No, Jed.
No.
I worked for Jed Moore.
Oh,
Wardrobe.
okay.
Yes.
I did Vicky. Okay.
Same thing. And then I went to Anton for a while, and that was great. I worked with
Yeah.
Angela Susan
Angela's a
Anton.
doll too.
She's a doll, yep, and she supports a lot. She's on a lot of boards and things like that.
Yes.
So they sold that paper. She finally retired.
I know. I just heard about that.
Mhm,
Yes.
mhm. So then I took a step back and got a little bit out of media, like Steve was saying. Print is not what it used to be. It gave me a great career, though.
Yes.
I do have to say, Newsday gave me a great career. And then I started focusing on helping some nonprofits and charities, bringing I have over 3,000 or 4,000 connections
I know that.
from my,
Now,
I won't say Rolodex, but
hey, a Rolodex is a thing in the editorial department where if you touch an editor's Rolodex, you better run.
Yeah.
Because they get mad.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
They take the pages into the
Yeah.
bathroom with them.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
When they're doing page 1 or whatever. I mean, I saw it all.
But because of all my connections and my clients, which I loved my clients, I do have to say I missed that aspect of it. I loved my clients, and because they came mostly from restaurant and hospitality, it was a nice segue into the nonprofit and charities
Sure.
and the events. So I'm able to help with sponsorships. I'm able to connect people, and that's very fulfilling, very
It is,
rewarding.
absolutely. And then you're helping the charity.
Correct.
You have a few favorites, the
Mhm.
hospitality
I do.
ball.
My-
I've been to 2 already.
Yes.
So let's talk about that. a
So the
minute.
hospitality ball was annual, and then they did a 10-year anniversary, and then it was also because of COVID, it took a 2-year hiatus, a 2-year
Like
pause.
everybody, right?
A
Mhm.
lot of these charities and events, like Steve was saying, people weren't doing them anymore because it was too. I mean, these are big events. You're talking about 3,000 people
I
that
know.
would show up at Crest Hollow, and again, it was all food. It was tastings. It was wine and spirits, and it was a fundraiser, a total 501c3 for the Carol Baldwin Fund,
Yeah,
the local.
which is unbelievable.
Right, out of Stony Brook. And I mean, they raised, $500,000. They
Yeah.
did an incredible job. Entertainment, Maria Elena, a good friend of mine.
I love her.
And she's
yes.
great.
She's beautiful
yes,
too.
and she's one of the, Keith Hart is one of the founders
How
of
about
that.
I haven't met, but I know all about
Yes,
him.
so that was a great organization. So that helped Carol Baldwin and the Long Island Hospitality Bowl. It's on pause again. We're seeing what's going to happen for 2025.
Yeah. Mhm.
But in the meantime, there's so many other charities. I'm big fan and advocate for Hair We Share.
Yes, which
Dean
is great.
Riskin,
They just
Suzanne.
had something.
And they're going to be having some. So I just wanted to give the
Go
date.
ahead.
So September 26th, Hair We Share is going to have their 11th annual gala at Crest Hollow. And again, they raise funds to help people with medical hair loss.
Mhm.
So alopecia, cancer
Which
are very,
That
very moving.
alopecia
The
is
young kids.
happening so much to children. Are you know about that?
My next door neighbor has it.
Yeah.
But
Isn't
she's
it
not a
terrible?
child. It is.
Yeah.
So anybody wants to get involved with that, go look for Hair
I've
We
never
Share.
heard of Hair We Share.
They're a
I've
great.
heard of
It's a-
Locks for Love, but
Yes.
never Hair We Share.
So they're a Long
Mhm.
Island based charity, and they've really gotten quite a few,
People love her.
supporting
Yeah,
them. Yeah.
absolutely.
So again, that's on September 26th at Crest Hollow.
Mhm.
You can certainly go online and look for the tickets or sponsorships as
Okay.
well.
Mhm.
So that's the one thing with the charities is everybody's hurting a little bit for sponsorships.
Yes.
It's all,
It's a tough time.
it's a tough time, and restaurants is who I primarily work with, and coming out of COVID, a lot of them have hit tough times as
And
well.
the restaurants right now are still,
Struggling.
I know because they're a lot of my clients.
So they got
You know.
that, and then there's another event coming up that just going to mention a couple of them. So on October 10th, there's also going to be, it's for the Mondays at Racine's
Mhm.
Cancer Care, a great grassroots organization. Started out of East Islip. They have even a HBO documentary. It's
Oh,
how they
nice.
actually started.
Mhm.
It was sisters honoring their mother.
Oh,
And
nice.
it was breast cancer, but now it's all different types of cancer. So they're going to be
Mm-hmm.
having a gala October 10th, and that's going to be at the Heritage Club in Bethpage.
Which is really nice.
So it's benefiting those affected by cancer.
Thank you.
So again, you can look online. It's called Gala Under the Stars,
Mhm.
their largest fundraiser. And then I do want to mention our good friend Terry Magro.
Ah,
Terry
of
Magro is
course.
a good friend of both of ours.
Yes.
And her foundation is Michael Magro Foundation in memory of her young son, Michael, who passed a pediatric cancer.
Yes.
So she's got a great foundation. She does so her big gala is coming up at Jericho Terrace.
Which is a nice place.
Beautiful,
Mhm.
beautiful. It's called An Evening of Tasting and Giving,
The other one, right. Mhm.
October 29th, and it benefits Warriors for a Cause, as
Mhm.
well as her foundation, Michael Magro, and also they're honoring Rory Bulivas. He's the president of Bulivas Restoration, and he's a great supporter
That's great.
of
Mhm.
charities, of
Yeah.
Long Island charities.
Terry puts on a great party too.
She
Very,
does.
very
Oh
nice.
yeah. So it's all wine and food. As you can see, that's my passion. That's what I'm.
Well, what I do sometimes with some of the charities is I bring my books and then I
Oh.
offer them, any
Yeah.
books you sell, $5 for each book goes to the charity. So when you're at a big event, they don't do so bad on that.
Right.
So I do that. I don't know if you ever thought of that.
I have.
Yeah, you've done it then.
Especially with children-related events. They
Well,
do.
I have a friend who's got a coffee house in East Northport called Samantha's Little Bit of Heaven. And
Oh.
Samantha's, we've done fundraisers for Ukraine there with poetry, music, children dancing, poetry, music, dance, and art.
So you're
and
involved somehow.
up to
You
my
always
ears.
get involved with something from the book.
Well,
And that's,
when you see what is out there to be offered, now it's to the point where I say, okay, do I have time?
right.
Can I give it the 115% that I give? And if I can't, I just say no, thank you.
Right.
Talk
No,
to me
because
again.
you want to be able to do it right.
Yep.
Right.
And in Northport, I'm involved with the opera. They called me because during the COVID, the Long Island Opera went down the shitter. But they're back and they do their operas
Opera
in
night.
Northport
Yep.
at the church.
Yep.
It's $20 to see the opera in Northport once a month. So if anybody's
Wow.
interested in that, you could call me.
Well,
And,
her husband is in my poetry group, and
Oh, you know her husband?
yeah,
He's a
Bruce,
joke.
Bruce Johnson,
Yes.
and Isabella used to be the accompanist
Oh,
at the school I worked.
well, Isabella's
She's a sweetheart.
Sweetheart.
She's a
Yes.
sweetheart.
So my former co-host, I talked him into learning how to do it. He became the maitre d', talking the opera in English, and then they sing it in the
Latin?
language,
Oh,
either Italian, Spanish, whatever.
German.
And he never did it before. So again, all of this happened because we all help each other.
It's all
And
about that.
Networking.
it's
Paying
true.
it forward. It really is. And if anybody's interested in getting involved in any of these charities, you can always reach out to me. It's Abreu, Abreu,
Oh, I always spell
I
it wrong.
know. I see that.
Why didn't you tell
I
me?
didn't catch it right away. Everybody does that. So it's jabrueconsulting@gmail.com, and you'll see a lot of the charities.
EU. I'll never forget that
EU.
name.
I've been spelling it
EU.
right since 1991.
Wow, you're lucky.
When
And
her
for
payroll
those,
check was wrong.
right, better not be. And
Yes.
for those Spanish-speaking people, it's Abreu.
Abrue.
J.
I
Abreu.
like that.
So feel free to reach out.
So now we have this very pretty lady, Debbie Doekker,
Thank
saying
you.
your name right.
Yes, thank you.
And you were in jewelry. Are you still doing the jewelry?
I am still doing jewelry. I've been-
These I love.
Thank you.
Very
I've
nice.
been
And her
working in the
necklace.
jewelry business for
Oh,
30 years.
God, that's nice.
Thank you.
We met at one of the stores at the Wilton Mall.
I
right?
wanted to mention Carol Baldwin because you
Yeah.
mentioned her. I used to sell jewelry to her. And she, I have to say, she was a lovely lady. This is back in the 90s at Saks Fifth Avenue.
Right.
Nice.
And I just loved her. She was so wonderful, and just so when you brought her up,
Yeah.
it just
I didn't know that, Debbie. That's very
Yeah,
nice.
Did you meet her boys?
So the Walt Whitman Mall.
I spoke
Shared
to them on the
Saks Fifth
phone.
Avenue.
Yeah, I would like to
I
meet
used
one
I
of them.
spoke to them on the phone about
Jewelry
because
store.
they bought a couple of things for her
Okay.
at the time. But
So you're still in the business.
I'm still in the business. What happened was I've been working with jewelry since the 90s, since I was 20 years old, 30 years ago, telling my age. And so fast forward to COVID, everything stopped.
Yeah.
And I had a great time working the jewelry business. I've worked with many wonderful designers, traveled the country. I've designed jewelry.
Wow.
I've worked with selling jewelry with Saks Fifth Avenue, Bloomingdale's, other stores throughout the country. And it had been wonderful. And then COVID hit. Right before COVID hit, though, I was offered a job with Chanel,
I
managing
love Chanel.
managing their high jewelry line. High jewelry line meaning the average price point is around $100,000 and more. So I was raring to go. This was it. And then COVID hit, and they said to me, "Oh, let's wait a couple of weeks when this COVID business, goes away." Well, it's coronavirus, they said before we said COVID.
Yeah.
So I was like, "Oh, okay." And then, of course, that never happened. So I ended up not working with Chanel, and I figured, what am I going to do? Because now all I know is jewelry. And I got involved through a Zoom party because now Zoom kind of took over. I
During
never heard of
COVID,
Zoom
yeah.
before 2020.
Right. Mhm.
But all of a sudden now Zoom came into play with all these different Zoom parties and getting to know people throughout the country, throughout the world, really. And I ended up going to a Zoom party, a Norwex Zoom party. Okay.
Norwex.
Norwex.
We have some clips of whatever these things are. We're going to look
Yes.
at.
Okay.
So
So Norwex stands for the Norwegian Experience. That is our
Ultra Power
plus detergent. Yes.
Okay.
It is the cleanest of the clean detergent. If you have sensitivity towards, like if your skin
Allergic.
is sensitive, if you
Mhm.
have allergies, if you have a baby, all of those things, play a part in, how important it is to clean your product.
What is
properly.
that?
So anyway, that one's the liquid version
Okay.
of the detergent, and then the one on the bottom is a paste. We call it elbow grease in a jar. That right there is our mitt. It's a microfiber
Can I
mitt.
try it?
Yes.
See,
Go right ahead.
I don't clean a lot. I'm hate to tell the truth, but
So
I mean, I'm not dirty, but I have someone do the cleaning.
yes, and there's nothing wrong with
Yeah,
that.
that's good. You could like do the wave.
Yeah.
It's really
Do the
cool. So what
Very
happened?
nice. Check it out.
I never thought, people that know me know I'm not a cleaner either. So people that know me were like, "You're doing what? Like, what is this all about?" But what got me to
Very nice.
buy it is because they said it was no harmful chemicals, that you're cleaning with just water. So what started out 30 years ago, now we just celebrated our 30-year anniversary. So starting with this cloth, it came to North America. If you were to take these fibers, let's say, if you pull the fibers and make this just one, it would go from the Gulf of Mexico to Canada. So there's a lot of fiber working
Yeah.
for you. So it's like 100 helpers helping you clean. All you need is water. All you need is water, and it actually will pull. the harmful chemical. It will pull the bacteria from a surface.
So you could use this
So-
for cleaning anything
yes, so
with
you
your
could
product.
for your day-to-day cleaning, you do not need chemicals. You just need water. It also has microfiber. The microfiber has silver in it, a liquefied silver. Silver is known to
Antibacterial and
remove
Yep.
bacteria.
Mhm.
So what happens is that's all you really need. Not for your difficult cleaning, because we have enzyme-based cleaners for that.
Right.
But for your day-to-day cleaning, this is all I use. And I was suffering with migraines and other health issues.
Mhm.
I started using this and my migraines went away. And that's what really helped me, because my health is important.
Mhm.
So that's what made me decide to buy more. And then I had a party on Zoom. Again, we're still in COVID. Then I was talked into being a consultant. I'm not working jewelry at the moment, at that time. And so let me see, I'll try it. And the first day that I started, in an hour, I made really good money and I was helping other people. So I kept this going.
So are people under you now?
I
You have a
do.
team?
I have about 13,
That's
14
great.
people under me.
Okay.
And at the same time, then when COVID opened up, when the pandemic opened up, as far as we didn't have to worry about it anymore, I got back into jewelry again. And so I'm doing both. And this is what's nice about it, is that I could do this part-time, full-time, or big time. So right now I'm doing it part-time. If I wanted to do it full-time or big time, I can. But I'm just so
You
thrilled.
like it. You could see you like it. She
Product
talks
is
about
great.
The product
she
is
loves it.
great.
Jewelry.
It can clean jewelry. Yes, it can.
Can it clean silver or what? Dry? You clean it dry? Or?
Yeah. So this is the cloth for like a window cloth, but it's like a polishing cloth.
So
So
when
it's a
you don't need
silky
Windex
type-
with this?
No.
No.
So when
Really?
you
I
when you
have the
think of
products there.
Windex and some other chemicals, if you look at what's really in the ingredients, a lot of those ingredients are actually banned in Europe.
Mm.
But because we live here and there's a lot of greed that goes on here,
No.
they don't care about that.
So
as
this
much.
is health oriented too.
This is environmentally
100%,
friendly.
Mm.
It has everything to do with saving time, saving money, and saving on your health and the environment.
It's
So
for
when you
toxins.
buy these three
So-
products, right?
Yep. This
And
is
then
called
you
the
have to
basic
wash them.
package.
What happens?
So when you wash them, you don't wash them right away.
Right.
You
Obviously.
just rinse them, you wring it out, you hang it
Let
to
it dry.
dry, because that's what this tag is for.
It's a loop.
Oh,
You hang
okay.
it to dry, and then the silver works in your favor. The silver destroys the bacteria.
Really?
Yes, because there's liquefied silver throughout the fibers of this cloth. So within 24 hours, it's good to use again. Now, of course, like within a week or two time, you're using it every day. You want to launder it? Yes. Then you put it in the laundry, but you have to use a laundry detergent that's free from fillers, no phosphates.
Oh, very natural.
Very natural. And that's where, when we looked at the
Detergent.
detergent, yes, I have it here.
So what are there, about 7 products
So
or
the-
a lot of
Oh.
products?
Oh, there's a ton of products. I'm just
Really?
showing you the top 5 products that actually cleans 80% of your home.
And you can buy
And-
these as a kit, right, Debbie?
Yes, so
There's
this
a
is called the Safe
starter
Haven
kit.
5.
Starter kit.
And you'll save about most households saves about $500 for the first year.
Really? Wow.
And you are really doing yourself a favor and your family's favor as far as the health goes and the lung function
And
all,
breathing and all the
these things.
Mhm.
I remember
Toxins.
I went to clean the toilet
Yeah.
once. I put ammonia and
Oh,
Ajax,
you
and
didn't
I
pass
thought I
out.
fell over.
Yes, it's something that it just goes right through you, and we're not meant to inhale those types
Yeah.
of things.
Mhm.
And so like this here is like a paste.
What does that do?
Okay, that's gonna replace your bleach, and this just pulls. You just use the wet cloth, and it will pull like really hard, difficult stains, and it's like hard water.
Cleans.
Really?
Yeah,
And you
it'll
use
clean
it
like the tougher
On
jobs.
granite and on stone countertops.
You can. There's certain things you can't use it on, but like 90% of the things you can.
So it's a
Yeah.
paste that you could use on
It's a
anything.
paste.
To
We
clean.
call it elbow grease in a jar.
So, but if
okay?
you use this,
So,
if it's like
With the cloth,
bleach,
right? You use it with
on
your
something
cloth.
like
don't
this
use-
color, what happens?
You-
Because it's bleachy.
But it's
not
not.
bleach.
It's not
Ah.
Takes
bleach.
the place.
It takes the
Ah.
place of
Mhm.
bleach. This is so pure. All it contains is well, has no phosphates, poison, or acid. All it contains is marble flour, natural soap, and traces of coconut oil.
Really?
I mean, it is
Right.
it is so clean. And when you're cleaning, like say your toilet or your bathtub, and you're not smelling, you're not feeling like, oh, what did I just inhale?
Yeah.
You don't feel it because we say at Norwex, clean doesn't have. Oh, that just like flew everywhere. Clean doesn't have a smell. Clean has a feel.
Really?
Yes.
So now talking about the feel, okay.
This is beautiful.
This is so soft.
So this is a plush
Use this
microfiber.
on
This is for
somebody.
dusting.
That's great.
This
That
isn't
What
works.
the
this is on a person.
Yeah.
So soft. Feel it.
Yes. Yes.
With the mitt,
Mhm.
can you apply suntan lotion with that?
Suntan lotion.
'Cause
Oh, you
know
mean-
they sell the mitts?
It's not for that. I mean, this is really for cleaning.
But I mean, could you possibly?
I guess so.
Because it doesn't have the toxins. I guess she's
Yeah.
asking.
Right.
It
Yeah.
doesn't have the.
Yeah. Again, it has the silver
Right.
in it.
Right.
It's as
And
clean
it's
as it can be.
washable.
And it's a thicker plush microfiber, so it really picks up and lifts all the dust.
It's great for
Very
Venetian
nice.
blinds.
Good for a
'cause you
bridal
just-
shower.
yeah.
So
Oh,
many
yeah.
To give
things.
Yes.
these kinds of gifts
These
for
are
bridal
great
shower.
gifts.
Yes.
These are great. And there's so many. If you look at the catalog, if you look at
Wow.
Norwex.com, or you can go on my Instagram
Yes, what is
page,
that?
Clean Simple Fun. You'll see
Clean, simple. Fun.
My
That's a nice
link
title.
to all these products and so much more. I have reels on there. I try to switch it up and do some fun
So
stuff.
you're going to get a website soon, or you just?
I
use
do have the website is it's when you go on there, it's on there. You just press the link and my website is there for the
Okay.
Norwex. Yeah.
And so now, how long has Norwex been around? I never
Okay,
heard of them.
They
so-
just celebrated. We just celebrated our 30-year anniversary in North America. It started out with this one cloth, the Enviro cloth.
Wow.
So it's E for everything, meaning you can clean everything with this one cloth. So it started out in Norway, and then it was introduced in North America, in Canada, 30 years ago, just with this cloth. And then it grew like you would not believe.
Jeez.
Yes, and you can't buy it in a store. It has to go
It's
through
sort of like a product
has to
that
go
you can
through
only.
a
right.
consultant.
me or a consultant, a website. So that's how that works. And it's been really such a blessing.
Good
I
for
mean,
you.
my house, so my husband and I love it.
Good for
Are you available for Zoom parties if somebody was interested and
Yes,
they
I do
contacted you?
Facebook parties, Zoom parties, in-person parties. There's so many different options. So if someone wants to host a party with me, they get a ton of free products.
I figured that. Yeah, it's like
They can
jewelry,
get
Tupperware, all that. right?
Anywhere, usually like my parties are anywhere, they'll get anywhere between $200 to $1,000 worth of free product.
And I just want to
Yeah.
add that Debbie's also been very supportive of some of the charities,
I'm sure.
especially
Mhm.
some of the cancer related. She's given gift baskets, donations, and we thank you for that, Deb.
Yeah.
Yeah, raffle
I
baskets.
love that.
So
It's
yeah,
it's important.
she pays it forward also.
That's well. I think everybody here does.
So that's
It's
my
really
my
great.
thing, and I still enjoy my jewelry because that's important to
Of
me too.
course. What woman doesn't enjoy jewelry,
Yeah.
hair, makeup? I mean,
It's
What do you
yeah.
think about that, Steve? All
yeah.
our jewelry, all our
So
bling.
now, do you
Sounds
wear,
expensive.
do you wear jewelry?
I'm a watch collector.
Huh?
Oh,
Watch collector.
Oh,
very nice.
I'm sure you have some nice watches.
that looks very nice and big. I did a event once for a financial guy about time, and he sold beautiful watches.
Mhm.
So I tend to do things a little different, odd, and he invited everyone to understand about their money and what happens with your money, time, and all that. And then he brought out all these beautiful watches.
My uncle
I love
is a
that.
Kiwanian in Carefree, Arizona. And people donate jewelry to me all the time because I used to just take all the jewelry and send it out to him, and it would go to help the kids on Indian reservations out there. And he works heavily with the Kiwanians. However,
That's cute.
now he extracts the watches and he brings them to St. Vincent de Paul. He fixes them.
Wow.
And then he sends them to St. Vincent de Paul and they make money on them. But he said the things that people get rid of
It's
are
unbelievable.
beyond.
right?
And
Yeah.
he's thrilled when he sees some of the watches he gets.
Yeah, that's true. Look, there's a lot of things in some of these secondhand stores. I go, just because I like to putz and look around. But there are people that are like taking pictures of everything and finding out their worth,
Oh,
getting it for
they
$2.
stand in front of the bays to
and
attack
yeah,
the people putting out stock.
yes,
Like
I
the
know, I
cufflinks
know.
from the 30s.
Wow.
I've got a
Definitely.
bunch of those.
Wow,
Yeah,
Steve.
that's really something.
Yeah.
So it looks like you're all very happy with your businesses. You can always grow, and we're all here today. Don't forget to take each other's cards. What we call this is live networking, and shit happens afterwards. So, like, maybe you and I could do something together with the books at one of the charities or something. Look at her; she's so busy. I
No,
can
the
see
mind
she's
is
getting.
The mind is
No.
going.
It's
It's
people get nervous when I don't speak. They think I didn't hear them, and I say, "Look, I'm old, not deaf."
I'm processing. I'm
And then
processing.
if I'm not talking, it means I'm thinking, and then they, oh.
Okay,
So I was thinking, what can we do
we
together?
will. We'll do something together.
Yeah, in fact, there is a church in Greenlawn that is doing a church fair September 21st,
Okay.
and you get a table for $60,
Mm-hmm.
and it's and you can sell whatever you
All
want.
right. Well, we'll connect. We'll
Yeah.
connect on that, definitely. So, I say, because my life changed a lot in the last 5 years. When your life becomes crazy, that's a good thing. So get on the roller coaster and just do it. Enjoy the ride. Because for the first half of my life, I wasn't like that. I was corporate. I was afraid. I kept my suit on every day. But once you leave that entity, you change. And, even my family, they crack me up because they say, like, what are you doing this week? I'm like, well, I will tell you if you really want to know. And
She's a real go-getter. I've
and-
been out with her, and let me tell you,
I can
Valentina,
see it.
you really, yep, she's not shy about her
Yeah.
it's all about who you know and
Right.
being in the right place at the right time.
and helping others. You're
Yeah,
very
I
much-
love helping
yeah.
people, and I like to connect people, and I love this show. And all these things that you see here were all donated by a woman that helped me, because she said, I'll help you make your logo, even our song, which is kind of cute. We have the
Yes.
morning song.
Mhm.
And the reason I don't change the show is because if it wasn't for the Breakfast Club, which was 17 years ago formulated, and you had to be 50, intelligent, and fired. Because I knew all these women like me that had experience that couldn't get a job. 90 interviews in 7 years.
Oh my goodness.
So I'm on my own now, which is better, but I also consult like everybody here does. So we have the show sponsored by Aura Puro Jewelers. Bobby, we have a little slide of them. And also Frank Caruza. There's my jeweler. He's a doll. You should go meet him. He's got great jewelry. Franklin Square,
Okay.
Hempstead Turnpike.
Nice.
That's the car guy. This is the guy, Frank's Collision, who helped all the people that lost their jobs in the Breakfast Club when they needed to go on an interview. He drove them.
Oh, nice.
Frank's been
Nice.
around for a long time. And then I work with a lot of performers. So Eddie Sessa is a Sinatra singer. We have a great night coming up. I'm going to be giving you one of these,
Thank you.
October 13th. And he's now has a 20-piece band. And his show is the first of its kind. Look at him.
Oh.
It's going to be how he knew Sinatra, the stories behind the song, how they formulated. Nobody does that. So this is a big thing we're doing.
Yes.
And if you call for tickets, you say Breakfast Club and you get a discount on your
Oh,
tickets.
thank you.
He
You
waved
can't-
at
I
me.
can't make it. I'm getting married.
Are you
I know.
serious?
Yep.
That's the
October
day.
13th.
Congratulations.
That's the day.
Congratulations.
To
Yeah.
Allison,
Very nice. Now, where is your wedding?
RG&Y Vineyard, the old Martha Clara, which is the
Oh.
Anthony family.
Oh, it's not called Martha Clara anymore.
No, they sold it.
Wow. Well, congratulations.
Yeah,
I
congratulations.
saw a picture of a beautiful woman on your website.
Don't know
so
how I
it's-
did it.
Oh.
Is this your first or a second?
Second, her first.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
Oh.
look, you got to go for it twice. You know.
I'm very lucky.
Yeah.
Good for you. Look, that's life. You know.
Yeah. And tell them about you're the Max. She's a Max.
She's a
Sweeney.
McSweeney and I'm McKenna, so the hashtag is
Ah.
McMerge.
No, that's
The
so
merging of the-
cute.
So you're
That's
Irish?
cute.
Even though my last name ends in a vowel.
I'm dating an Irishman from Kerry, Ireland.
Mhm.
And
Guess what his first name is?
what?
Patrick.
Yes. Oh, you mean my Irishman? Oh,
Yeah.
we call him St. Patrick.
Okay.
And it's second time for me too. But we have decided that we are committed to the commitment, because when you're older, you're younger than me, you really don't need the marriage anymore. So yesterday, nobody knows this yet. You're the first to know. Guess what I got? A committed to the commitment ring.
Oh,
Okay.
congratulations,
Oh,
Valentina.
Look at that. It was my
Beautiful.
birthday.
Pretty.
Beautiful.
So my
Beautiful.
family don't even know yet.
Congratulations.
Yeah, we're the
I got
first
it
to know.
yesterday, and we went in this
Well, do the
beautiful
hand.
store.
Do the hand.
Yeah, show it up.
There you go, guys. Beautiful store in Wyandotte. It's an Irish, gorgeous house. 2
Oh, I
floors.
think I've heard of that store.
Yes. So on
Yeah.
that
On
note,
Sunrise
guys,
Highway?
In one,
Yeah.
in one.
thank you. It's time to throw the ball, and that is a wrap.
That is that.
Thank you, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. We